On this week's episode of What's Up Weekly, the weather is finally starting to get warmer, and that means music festivals have made a return. We'll take you to this year's Culture Shock.
And it's Little 5 week, so get a look at how campus is preparing for the biggest weekend of the year. What's Up Weekly starts now.
Hello and welcome to What's Up Weekly. I'm Anna Black.
And I'm Carly Rasmussen. So we have a lot coming up on today's show because there's a lot going on this week on campus.
Yeah, if you all don't know, which I'm sure you do, it's Little 5, one of the biggest weeks, obviously, in Bloomington. So there's going to be so much fun things going on.
So much going on, exactly.
Well, concert goers in Bloomington had a very busy weekend. WU reporter Grace Morocco traveled to 2 music festivals sponsored by WIUX to watch it all unfold. Check it out.
Music, food, and art kicked off a weekend full of music festivals for many Bloomington residents. The Culture Shock and Burning Couch Festival, both sponsored by WIUX, attracted attendees, artists, and vendors. Corinne Jones, the owner of Cut It Out, is one of those vendors.
I'm selling collages, and so I make them and I cut them with scissors, cut and paste. It's a good opportunity because you just get to talk to people and be around other artists, so it's just like a good environment to be around.
The Culture Shock Festival has been a longtime part of IU, bringing together local artists for 35 years. The Burning Couch Festival, on the other hand, is just celebrating their 2nd year.
So I feel like this and Culture Shock are kind of very similar in a way, since they're both kind of trying to bring the Bloomington and greater Indiana artistic community together to kind of all celebrate this big art, which is amazing. And also on the heels of Culture Shock, kind of both bringing that hype to this weekend. It's been really fun.
Last weekend was a huge weekend for the music scene of Bloomington, Indiana. Saturday, they had the Culture Shock, and today they are having the Burning Couch Festival with 26 art vendors and lots of live bands. One of those bands was Indiana Commune.
We're going to do some covers today that really don't make any sense. So I like that these people allow me the opportunity to really, not be super structured with the music. It can be kind of free and evolve. It's very creative. I like to think of it that way.
Both festivals will be back next year for another weekend full of entertainment. For What's Up Weekly, I'm Grace Morocco.
If you missed last weekend, don't worry. Culture Shock will be back again next April, along with the Burning Couch Festival, who hopes to continue expanding their event. And it's no secret that one thing that makes Indiana University so popular is its seasonal landscaping. And as we make our way through April, the campus is springing into action for the warmer months. Places like the Sample Gates, Dunn Meadow, and other parts of campus are decorated with various flowers. The media school is placed right in the middle of the spring flora. Last week, university landscapers adorned the area behind the Sample Gates with fresh flowers and other springtime plants.
The world's greatest college weekend is 2 days away, and fans are already ready to experience it nearly as much as the riders. This week, riders are spending their last hours at the track preparing for the weekend ahead of them, a race they've been training for since last summer. Many riders racing will have their first debut on the track, while many will race their last. Alpha Chi Omega, a team of 3 senior vets and 1 rookie, share their thoughts on what this year's race means to them.
It's just I think seeing that hard work finally pay off has been just an exciting moment for us. It's just a culmination of the past 3 years. I think for us, we've given a lot to biking, so I think it's really exciting, but it's also a little bittersweet that we're coming up with our last race, but I think it's really exciting to just see that hard work actually, go towards something.
The women's race is this Friday at 4 p.m. and the men's race is Saturday at 2 p.m. It's my second Little 5. I am so excited. I cannot wait.
This is my first and last, which is crazy. So I don't even know what to expect. I'm just excited.
Yeah, you're just happy to be there.
I'm just happy to be here.
Right? Still to come on What's Up Weekly, we are on track for Little 5.
We'll be joined in studio by Max Parker and Ben Baines, who are here from 3PH Cycling. Stay with us. Welcome back. Little 5 is just around the corner, and we have some very special guests in the studio to give us an inside look.
That's right, Anna. Max Parker and Ben Baines are here from 3PH Cycling. Thank you guys so much for coming in.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us, guys.
So how did you all get involved with 3PH?
I actually first got involved back before I even got to IU. It was through a friend of a friend that was on the women's team, one of the women's teams. Just talking to her about Little Five, told her I was interested, and she knew a guy, so gave me his number. I got in contact with him, and that's all she wrote.
Amazing.
Last year at there's a call-out meeting every year in the fall, and I actually met Ben at the call-out meeting, and so pretty simple story. Joined through that.
Amazing.
And then is this your guys' first time riding in the race?
No,
Both
this will
our
be
second.
Yep.
So does that give you a little bit of confidence going into it for the second time, or how would you describe those feelings?
A little bit. I think it's different for me because my first race was actually 2 years ago. Last year I broke my collarbone, so that my confidence kind of went down a little bit after that. But kind of got back on it and then got going. So I think kind of coming into this race this year, having this guy and some of the other guys that we've got on the team, it's been really helpful. So I think going into the race, we're feeling really good.
Awesome.
Yeah, definitely same for me. I mean, last year there were plenty of mistakes that were made and can be learned from, and so it just helps to have that, under your belt. And I think same goes for riders all throughout the field. I mean, there are a lot of people who come in and it's their first time and they're really strong. We've got a first timer on our team as well.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of teams definitely have that more experienced person or people, and that certainly helps in situations in the race.
Yeah.
And how are you all feeling coming out of quals, going into this race?
Feeling pretty good. I think we're feeling, at least personally, feeling a lot better going into the race than we were going into quals, just because, there was a lot more up in the air. A lot has happened in those last couple of weeks since then. So I think we're feeling pretty good, kind of get things rolling in the right direction going forward for the race.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's definitely things we need to make up a few positions. I think we've talked about as a team. We need to kind of move up a little bit at the beginning because of our qual position. But I think we're all feeling just super excited to get out there and see what happens. Because with Little Five, you never know what's going to happen. So
true.
Yeah.
And obviously it's a pretty rigorous practice schedule. So what would a week in the life of a Little Five rider look like?
Typically, the track is open for, I think it's like Monday to Thursday. It's open for 3.5 hours for both the men and the women. It's like separate track time. And then the times vary on different days, but typically we'll spend probably around anywhere from an hour on an easy day to maybe 2.5 hours at the track on any one day between Monday and Friday. And then on Saturday and Sunday, we'll typically do either one rest day and then one long ride, or two kind of medium to longer, couple-hour long rides.
Cool.
So,
yeah, definitely a pretty busy schedule. And weather is certainly something that impacts a lot. And,
Yep.
if you end up getting stuck in a garage and having to do rollers and all that. But it's definitely a pretty involved schedule.
Yeah, well, it's got to be.
Yeah.
Biggest college weekend, a lot of pressure.
That's right.
Exactly,
That's right.
yeah.
Well, also, what do you guys do the night before Little Five, or what are you guys planning to do the night before?
Cake.
We've got
I was going to say
cake.
carb load.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll probably do. In the past, it's kind of varied, but we've got a couple of traditions. A lot of our alums will be in town, so we'll do kind of something with them before dinner, and then dinner we'll do some sort of either pasta or pizza or something like that as a team, and then just kind of hang out and relax, kind of stay off our feet for a while, and then just kind of make sure we're hydrating and all that, and just kind of relaxing the night before.
And he missed the best part. After dinner, we make a funfetti cake. And we eat the funfetti cake. So
That's
That's a good
amazing.
luck
I
charm.
don't know how you
clearly.
missed that, but
Well,
yeah.
That's the best part.
Yeah, it's an upside down cake too.
Oh,
'Cause
sounds
the-
intense.
Yeah, the first year they made it, somebody made it and then flipped it upside down before icing it, and they didn't realize that it was the bottom of the cake. So they
Okay.
just
We're not bakers. Not bakers.
Well, you are using
It
a
keeps it easy,
funfetti
though.
box recipe, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Hey, that's okay. Don't
That's
need to be a
awesome.
baker if you can just ride the next day, right?
Just look at the
Exactly,
instructions.
yeah.
But you mentioned weather earlier. That's a problem for practicing, and the weather forecast for this weekend's not looking too good. What would happen if it were to rain and have a thunderstorm on race day?
I think if it were to rain, they'll still run the race as long as it doesn't really, as long as it's safe to do so. Safety is a really big priority for the people that are putting on the race. So as long as it's safe, they'll still run it in the rain. But if there's any storms or anything in the area, they'll try to run it. They might look for a window and then maybe push it back a little bit just to see if we can get it in. If not, they could push it back to Sunday, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world because it's supposed to be nicer, I think, on Sunday. But yeah, so that's, I think, the tentative schedule.
Interesting enough, I mean, when it rains, just as a rider, the track is actually easier as long as it's not.
Oh yeah.
The track can take on a lot of water, so as long as there's no sitting water or anything, it makes the track really nice to ride on because it's not as loose and dusty. So, I mean, if it ends up sticking to the forecast and just kind of sprinkling in the morning, that'll actually be pretty good for a safe race. So,
Well, I'll hope for rain then.
Yeah.
not too much.
Not too much, just a little bit.
Yeah.
And then do you guys have any advice for first-year riders or people wanting to get into it or anything?
I'd say my biggest piece of advice for like a new rider would just be to stick with it and put in the hours, especially in the winter and the fall, because it seems like missing one day doesn't really matter that much because the race is so far out. But those are the days when you don't want to that really count, because those are the days that other guys might not be doing their workouts also. So if you can get the work done on those days, then I think you set yourself up pretty well to be successful in the spring.
Yeah, mine would definitely be always remember the fun in it. You know, the reason I got into this was because I really enjoyed cycling, and I had picked it up the year before I came here and joined the team. And there are certainly days when workouts they can kick your butt, but I mean, you just got to remember why you're doing it for the fun.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all so much for coming in. I really appreciate it, and we are sending good luck and good vibes, and maybe hoping for
Sprinkle?
rain.
Yeah, and
Maybe
I don't know. I
Maybe
guess
a
that's
little.
what
We'll see.
that's what they're
A
telling
little bit,
us.
yeah.
Well, still to come on What's Up Weekly, we have this week's trending topics.
including a popular franchise that is getting a brand new HBO series that may last a decade, and the music lineup that is traveling to London for King Charles's coronation this summer. Stay with us. Welcome back. Let's get into this week's trending topics. It was a weekend full of fashion, fun, and Frank Ocean. Palm Springs' highly anticipated music festival, Coachella, kicked off on Friday.
The two-weekend event in the California desert features some of the biggest names in music, including headliners like Frank Ocean, Bad Bunny, and Blackpink. Other names on the set list included Labyrinth, Gorillaz, Metro Boomin, Becky G, and many more. The festival is famous for its abundance of funky fashion, and there's absolutely no shortage of glam or glitter this year. Thousands of people came from all over to hear their favorite artists, including lots of celebs and influencers. Many artists also brought out special guests. Labyrinth brought out pop star Billie Eilish, while Bad Bunny shocked the crowd with a Post Malone feature. The second weekend features the same lineup. It ends Sunday the 23rd.
And more on music, Katy Perry, Lionel Richie, and Take That will headline the coronation of King Charles III. On May 7th, a day after the official coronation ceremony, Windsor Castle grounds will host a concert featuring the stars. Other performers include international opera star Andrea Bocelli and Grammy winner Bryn Terfel. The Coronation Choir, a group of community choirs and amateur singers, will also perform. And Richie said, quote, "To share the stage with our other performance at the coronation concert is a once-in-a-lifetime event, and it will be an honor and a celebration." Also over the weekend, a missing person search in Florida sent social media into a frenzy.
The individual Daytona Beach police said was considered missing and endangered was Nickelodeon star Drake Bell. Police say a police Facebook post claimed the Drake and Josh actor was potentially in danger after being last seen driving near a high school on Wednesday. Daytona Beach PD located Bell the following day and issued a statement saying he was safe. This is not the first time the actor's found himself in headlines. In 2021, Bell was found guilty of attempted child endangerment after sending sexual texts to a 15-year-old girl. He was then sentenced to a year-long probation.
For anyone a fan of fantasy, get ready to be transported back into the world of magic and wizardry.
Warner Brothers Discovery announced that the Harry Potter franchise will be featured on the studio's new streaming service, Max. Harry Potter will be taking on the form of a scripted television series. J.K. Rowling, the author of all 7 novels, will be an executive producer on the project. The series will feature new faces and is expected to run for 10 years in an attempt to create an authentic replication of the books. Well, that's what's up this week. Tune in next week for the last What's Up Weekly of the season.
Yeah, you're making me sad. Be sure to follow us on social media. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at IUSTV News.
For What's Up Weekly, I'm Anna Black.
And I'm Carly Rasmussen. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.